So why don't we jump right in? First order of business, is there anyone that would volunteer to take notes? You want, okay, are you good right there? Okay, so Dan, thank you. And if we look at our minutes from our last meeting, I did finally get those sent out. So any questions, thoughts, concerns about those?
Not for me.
Being no concerns, if someone would make a motion, we could approve those and make them approved.
I'll make a motion.
And if someone seconded that, it would be official.
That's okay.
Perfect. So we can cross that off. And I know Greg has been waiting for this opportunity to provide us his first town activity recreation update. So, but I know he had a
screen over here.
had a good pile of stuff for me there a couple weeks ago, so I'm sure.
So pretty much there, just a few more additional things, so we'll start off with the missions accomplished. So obviously I got my onboarding and training started. We've hired seasonal staff, about 25 seasonal staff. Saturday was our training and parks are up and running. Laborers, rangers, and lifeguards. We also did an in-house inspection prior to parks opening and basically looked for safety concerns, which we did find. We found 4 large dead pine trees down at Renanda that was threatening the parking area. So we teamed with Highway, got those taken down and chipped up. We also found some broken child swings that were definitely safety issues, got those repaired, and a water drain at Motion Junction that had been washed out and basically created a hole that probably a kid could fit into. So we had to fix that drain and get that secured up. So as far as project completions, and I do have some pictures on the next page, at Pierce Park, we completed the softball diamond and got that all redone. At Miller Park, we planted 70 shrubs around the outside of the park. And then at Motion Junction, we did a sod installation. And then we planted 2 trees for Arbor Day. And we did get some pictures put out on Facebook for that. But here's a few pictures for you. So here's our sod. I think it looks pretty nice. The big thing with the sod is the stuff that was there before was just blowing out. And then we're getting a lot of calls to come and have our staff, blow it off every morning. So hopefully with the sod, it's gonna be a lot better. I think tactile, it's very nice as well. And I can imagine like people have a little picnic or something out there. I think it's a really nice update. Mike here in the middle, we were a part of a travel tour, a new bus tour where they were going around Finger Lakes looking at inclusive activities in the area. And we were the first stop on this tour. Mike gave a great presentation. That was really nice. Got a couple of pictures of the tree areas that we cut down, and you can see those trees were really rotten and really needed to come down. And they were right along the edges of where everyone's gonna park. And there's our Pierce Diamond that's redone. At this point, we didn't have a drag rig, but we did buy a drag rig for that now so that we can smooth it all out. And so that's going really good. It's getting a lot of use. Every time I go down, there's a lot of foot traffic in it. So, and we're getting some good reports there. And then the trees, if you were wondering where they got planted, we had 2 of them right by Pirate Park. So as far as trails, we made some progress with the Auburn Trail. I know that was brought up last time. I have it on the back slide here. Basically, we're down to, we only have one little section left right here to complete the lower portion of the trail. Jim Fletcher and I went and talked to the owner, and they're in consideration, and it actually sounded really, really positive. His mom owns it, but he's kind of the caretaker of it, and he just needed to talk to his siblings about it, but he thought that it would be something that his mom would really like as well. So we just need to reach back out there. We're going on vacation. I did call, unfortunately left the message. I was hoping to have that result for you all today. But, so that's pretty exciting. I know you've been wanting to get that completed, so we're really close.
So is that trail along Brickyard Road, is that in the right of way?
So
We go beyond the easements, yeah, right along in there.
Yeah, so that's in the right.
That's in the right of way.
So we're good.
So we don't need any permission from the airport for that, for that.
That's what I was
part of
wondering
it.
too, yeah.
Yeah,
That's my understanding with MRB, as I said, we're good and it's really just
Right.
that.
If we're in our right of way, then
then,
we should,
yeah,
too bad,
Yeah.
So it's on the west side of Brickyard Road,
yeah,
runs along west side.
same time as the airport.
And we think that property is the best, there's no house on it, and they actually have a snowmobile trail through it already.
So there's no chance of coming the other diagonal, is there? I mean, this guy must own the same land, right?
They just logged all that, didn't they? They
Yeah.
just logged that all
well,
out.
that, no, that's still a wooden lot, those woods are still there. I
So
think,
that's just cleared out?
did they clear a lot of this out?
I don't know.
It was right by the road.
And there's still,
I don't think they cleared any of that guy's. Right, that's still woods with an old trail that goes through it, there's like a wooden fence.
It seems like that, if we could clip that diagonal, and I don't wanna be a fly in any wingman, because it's been a long time getting to this point, but. It seems like that would be further away from the house and everything, and maybe it has to do with the airport.
Yeah, I think because there's a certain buffer with that part of the border, because it's closer to the runway.
Yeah,
I think that has been the issue, is that this trying to skirt that border gets too close to their buffer that we need to be beyond.
I know they liked it along the edge as well, because we were talking about location, so that does match up with what the owners would like as well. If for some reason MRB did say that we could possibly come on down and cut across and get over onto our peanut trail here, I guess, and come over as well, so there is a plan B, but we really think this is gonna work out.
So Jeff just kept his trucks there.
So pretty exciting. Any questions on
No, I think
it?
it, awesome.
Awesome, yeah.
I mean, we've been
Yeah,
talking about
it's
that
great.
for a long time.
Yeah, I think I was told, what, like 10 years or something?
Yeah, so-
And,
might be more than that.
and Greg, you talked
As long
about
as
down
I've been
here.
on this
Oh, yes,
committee.
sir.
So we have that
I've been on the
existing
longest.
trail, we might have to modify something because of
Yeah,
a bridge over Sucker Brook.
Correct, yeah,
Or,
this is supposed to be a bridge, but, since that's a floodplain and that river often floods, that would probably not be a good idea, because anything come down could get stuck on the bridge, and then it would flood out all these houses here, and then Tom would get a nice insurance lawsuit. But the other thing is, this particular field would be really good use for a soccer field. I was looking at some of the other plans, and there was a soccer field over behind Motion Junction.
athletic field.
Athletic field, we'll say
Got it.
athletic field, but could go right here really nicely, and so we could skirt this down and then come right up along the edge of the road.
Do we own that? Do we own that?
We do,
Yeah.
That's the one behind the Civic Center, right?
Correct,
yeah, on the west side of Sucker Brook.
And it's currently not,
Just-
mowed or
Yeah.
anything.
But it's pretty flat.
Yeah, I know.
I think you just bought it last week, I think, right?
Yeah.
Is it ever used for overflow parking or is that
No, it's,
never?
it's.
Yeah,
It's
it's
ours,
for the rink it is,
right,
but
But see, parking,
they're gonna have to
figure that out.
deal with that.
and parking was one of the things we're always having trouble with, and the good thing with the rink, and that's owned by the city, we were like, maybe if our parking lots we could share. Because our busy times would be in the summer and their busy times in the winter, and
Yeah.
we can team up and do good stuff, that could be a great location, and then we could bypass this flood zone issue, and then we can have the trail come right up along the road and use that space for a nice activity. So that's just something that's in preliminary discussions.
So at some point, we have to cross Sucker Brook through there with a trail.
Well, we'll come right
Depending on where
along
you
here,
come by
if
the
we come up
road.
the road, we won't have to, really.
We would be on this side of Sucker Brook, so we would be here
No.
Yes,
and up.
yeah,
Okay.
exactly.
There's guardrails there though. I mean, I don't know what we're gonna do.
Well,
with it.
there is a swath of grass there between the brook.
I think it's pretty far out. To be honest with
Is
you,
it?
yeah,
Because I guess we had to move up to that section to cross over, because we didn't want to come straight across.
I think also it's 55 right there, it might be 30 where we're crossing,
Right,
Yeah.
the county wouldn't approve a
Yes.
crosswalk there.
50, right?
Well, once we get to the city limits, would use the sidewalk, right?
We're not
We're long,
getting to this.
quite a ways from city
Well,
limits,
we're-
Well, no,
all in
you're
the
not. At
city.
the other end of Outhouse Park is the city limits.
right? It's-
We would only be on city land here.
No, I'm talking as you go through Outhouse Park. Once you're through Outhouse
Oh,
Park.
we're not even talking about that, no. Anybody that wants to get on a sidewalk there could, yes.
Yeah,
Okay,
But
but
there's no
this is
sidewalk.
gonna end at the sidewalk. That's what I'm asking.
there's no sidewalk there.
Where
Along-
Burgess.
At Buffalo.
Where-
On Buffalo
right?
Street, yes, there's a sidewalk there. I'm in Outhouse Park every single
Oh,
week, you know?
Anybody that gets on our paved trail could then get on the sidewalks.
That's what I'm asking.
that other
yeah,
end.
That's what I'm
Right,
asking.
which they could do currently. So,
And then theoretically connect through the city to the other. bike
Yes,
path,
right.
Yeah.
So that would be the idea.
Ontario Pathways.
Ontario pathways.
which was a long range plan years ago
I
that the
know.
city hasn't really followed through with anything through the city.
So what else is new?
Wow.
I'm sorry.
So no, that's awesome. That's
Yeah,
awesome.
that's
Thank
great.
you.
It's accidentally on purpose.
So moving on, Motion Junction and Outhouse Park, we're just kind of going through the parks. So we are working on the concession stand lease. A little bit of a holdup, we reached out to the city because of course they had leased a concession stand, so I wanted to see their RFP, kind of get some examples, but I didn't get anything back, so I found one. And John has it at his.
I started reading it right before this meeting.
Oh, did
Started
you? Yep.
reviewing,
So it was from this year, an RFP in Plattsburgh, New York, for a concession stand. It looked pretty close to what we need and I think it looks pretty good. So hopefully we can try to get an idea of some folks that would be interested in moving in there. I know there's some thoughts of who could be, like Art maybe coming in.
They had talked earlier, but I mean, that really, there's not anything in there there's no cooking facilities in there.
Correct.
It would be more of a prepared,
Concessions.
yeah.
Yeah, we're, as it is, a concession
Yeah.
stand. But, the way we wrote it up, that they would go through the health department and figure out what the limits are
Yeah,
and what they
yeah.
could do in that space, and they're just basically leasing it from us.
Yeah.
But it's not a bad deal because we're taking care of the bathrooms, the trash, electrical, water, so. Just try to get a small fee for a lease on it, but really more for the service that it would provide would be great. Pierce Park, we are working on a crumbling walk foundation at the bathhouse, if you're familiar with that. The foundation, for some reason, is just crumbling away. So we have one quote and I need to get some more quotes, so hopefully we'll go with the best one of those and we can get that repaired. Ononda, we have an RFP out for the roof replacement for the Rotary Pavilion and the game room right now, so we're waiting for those to come back. We did prep the RFP for the boilers. And was about to send it out and Jim Fletcher reviewed it and asked us that he thought we needed to do a little more, looking into the boiler for that. So I need to get another person in to take a look at some of the concerns that Jim had and then we'll try to get that back out. We're in the process of purchasing our John Deere Gator. We're very excited about that to have down at Ananda. This one will be more enclosed. The dump bed is, it does it itself. The current one, we have to manually lift it up, so this will be, motorized dump bed, so. Pretty excited. Another thing we're excited about, we did get move into the 21st century here. We got a new credit card machine, so we now have the ability to do Tap Pay, Apple Pay, and down at Ononda for everything. So it's working really well. Had a lot of great feedback. Another thing that we did is we went to an app called DigiQuadix. It's a specially lifeguarding scheduling tool, really, but it does so much more. We can track certifications, we can put all types of lists in there for people that to follow along. But we're really excited and we thought it was just gonna be a lifeguarding tool, but we're really using it for all seasonal staff to manage their schedules. So Lindsay and I both, it's as much of an HR tool as it is for me as a scheduling tool as well. So very excited about that. Blue Heron Park really didn't have much there. I didn't know if John had anything to add about.
No, they, well, up, down, Just this morning approved their letter of credit for their grading, for them to apply to their grading permit. In their letter of credit, one of the first things that they're gonna be doing with the start of their grading is working on amenities for Blue Heron Park, so. That's been part of the deal. They're looking to break ground there very soon, so as soon as they're breaking ground at Uptown, we should start seeing some work at the park as well. So,
How'd they make out with their electrical issue? There was concern over overhead electric.
they paid to get it buried. Nope. Otherwise it was.
Paid with capital letters paid, right?
Yeah, otherwise they probably would not have been moving forward with that project.
Yeah.
Cause they would have had to rework the entire plans.
And then we would have lost houses and everything.
Oh, absolutely, yeah, so.
Great. Thank you.
So I don't know exactly what they're starting on yet, I just know that that's
Yeah.
part of the letter of credit is for the amenities, for them to start working on that as well.
Which would be great. So Miller Park, when we were down looking, there's some talk about possibly doing a little small trail around the backside of the, what do we call that? Creek, small creek through the pines. And I did walk that, and I think that that's something we could do pretty easily. And it's a nice little, area that could be seen easily while people are picnicking and watching their kids do it. And it's fine, it is a pretty little area. There's a lot of poison ivy, in there, but.
It's a good learning tool.
That's right, because we were talking.
Put that
about
little
the park
sign up,
ranger,
this is poison ivy.
Educational, that's what I was saying, you know?
It's for people you don't like. Send them there.
Got a great new trail for you to walk.
Yeah, there you go.
Well, yes.
Take a picnic, sit on the ground.
Another thing I noticed when we were down there, there's a basketball court, but it's in the parking lot. I was just thinking that probably not the best place for a parking lot if it was full of cars, because I've been hearing.
This
there's
is
a lot
at Miller Park, there's a basketball?
Oh, I'm sorry, not Miller Park.
Yeah, that's not a
I'm
Miller,
sorry,
right?
Pierce, I'm sorry,
Pierce.
I'm sorry,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's my
Oh,
typo
yeah.
area, I meant Pierce.
Yeah, I
Pierce Park.
was gonna say, when did they put
Pierce
that in
Park.
there?
It's
Pierce
new.
Park. I apologize, but you know what I'm talking about, there's a basketball
Yeah.
court at the
Yeah,
end
yeah.
of it.
I was thinking Miller Park, you were way down by Bliss Road, that maybe there was a little area down there. and I
Someone
think
put a
that-
basketball court in
Yeah,
there.
well, I thought that's where the little hiking trail was, I'm like, okay,
Oh, no.
I don't remember the pine
So
trees,
St.
but.
Pierce, matter of fact.
Pierce
I've never
Park.
seen that one and you set Pierce
So
Park.
yeah, it was adding parts in it, but.
I was thinking you were down below too, where that little bog is.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I thought you
Yeah.
were talking about.
You know the creek I'm talking about?
Yeah, I do,
And
and
then-
there's a ton of poison ivy there.
There
Just
really is, it really
incredible.
is.
Yeah,
But we do have, I did talk to Jim, and one of our staff that works there has the certifications that he could kill that even with it being close to a water source. So we do have someone on staff that could potentially treat that, but it's just something that we were looking at when we were looking at possible quick trails that we could put in.
yeah.
To add to things, since that's, you know, a big statement that a lot of people are looking for. McJanic, not really anything to report, we did look, I don't think the great thing is worth really,
There's not anything to it?
yeah, unfortunately, but it's a great, good idea,
The property adjacent to McJanic is up for sale right now.
is it?
Yeah,
Did not know that.
yeah, the guy's trying to make
What's
money.
Janet?
It's
Top of,
past Seneca Point, you're heading towards 21, it's just the
Down
pull
to
in, the
21.
pull off area there.
top of the hill,
So
to the
sick.
left.
Scenic view.
It's a very scenic view, and then
Yeah.
there's a big field to the next to it, to the side of it that's for sale right now.
That wasn't owned very long, was it, that piece adjacent?
According to what he's telling me, he doesn't necessarily need to sell it, but he wants to see if he can get someone to bite on it. So I'm sure the price tag's really high.
Yeah.
Um, it would be a nice spot to put quick trails in.
Interesting, I'll take a look at that.
Open space reserve.
How far down is it?
Probably not.
It
No,
goes
I
down
think
over the
they,
hill,
we looked at buying some of that stuff
Yeah.
there before, we
Halfway
did buy a
between
piece of
21
property
Seneca
there as
Point.
well, so.
Yeah, kind of right off the.
Yeah,
Down
yeah,
the
I
hill.
mean, it might be
Closer to
something that the
It
town,
Worth
Yeah,
looking
this
at.
is the
yeah.
master plan to have
Right.
trail down there.
It would get a little bit.
So Wes.
Greg, you wanna send that to maybe Jared, say, hey, are we interested in this? From an open space, John, I mean, it's worth
Yeah,
at least
well, yeah,
investigating,
so-
yeah, it's adjacent to our park.
Even a strip of it would
Yeah.
get us a
Just-
trail down
right.
to Seneca.
I, yeah.
Part of
yeah,
a trail anyway.
I like the idea, because there really isn't much there except for a pretty view, so it'd be nice to make it more of a destination.
But part of our master plan is to have a trail
Yes.
from McJanet Park down to Seneca Point Road. And, you know, every 50 foot counts.
Right,
Absolutely. So Westlake Schoolhouse Park, our codes folks will be moving out very shortly, so that'll be back available. Matter of fact, we have some folks set up to rent that out.
June 16th right now is
They move back.
the new date for moving into the new offices.
Really?
It got bumped by another week, so that's the tentative day right now, is June 16th, to start moving back up into those offices, so that's when codes can come out of that building,
Okay,
hopefully.
Question, Greg.
yes,
Back on the Pierce basketball court,
yes.
what's the thought there?
Well, the volleyball court is not used, from my
Right.
understanding from my staff, that we could look at putting something in, and I know that, I think there was some talk of, the
Pickleball.
court.
Yeah.
But maybe we could do a combo, I don't know if
Right.
they do a basketball combo, and we could move that off, so we could get it off the parking lot. I just would hate someone shooting it, it's bouncing into cars and stuff, but also to have a designated area, but just a thought. You're wondering what you guys thought about it.
Pickleball is,
Same thing.
I'm sorry.
pickleball, you would get a lot of takers.
Right, now we are putting pickleball court at our house, the double court that we're working on the RFP as well, so we have funds in the budget for that too.
If it stops raining.
Yeah,
I've seen movable pickleball nets at other parks. We move them out of the way for basketball.
yeah, so I was thinking something like that, if
I think if we could double it up and I mean, there's a surface there that you could play basketball and, you know, pickleball, and I mean, we might then have to look into a reservation issue, you know, someone's playing pickleball, and someone shows up, you know, we might just need to look at it through making sure there's a reservation, but Jamie, I mean, do you see a lot of when you're, I was by there the other day, there were people shooting baskets.
There's people who play basketball.
Yeah.
I think the volleyball court has a couple issues against it. One, it's hidden, not a lot of people see it. Two, it's got those walnut trees coming over that have been cleaned up, but still are gonna be dropping walnuts
Yeah.
all over that area. And I think the people who are coming there to use the field, play soccer, use that side of the park. And the people coming for the pavilions, I just don't see enough space there to actually like make a volleyball game conducive to that crowd. It's a small crowd, you're talking maybe some live music. I just don't think it's the crowd for volleyball.
Yeah.
Pickleball maybe, but I think there's gonna have to be some trees taken out or another look at where it might go. You can put it out under the pines out there and your little pickleball court in the forest, but it's just a tough spot.
it is.
You're right next to the road.
I-
You're really close to the
You
road
would have
there.
to fence it in because of the road, yeah, so there's a lot of issues, I was just throwing it out to the group for ideas, but those are some great thoughts. I don't know if it'll work or not, but it'd be nice if we maybe come up with something different than the parking lot for the basketball court if we could.
It kind of sounds
So-
like the volleyball court should go.
yeah, I think that's
We should get
beautiful.
rid of the volleyball.
Yeah.
I've never seen anyone play volleyball.
Yeah,
We should get rid of that. Go
there's
from
no
there.
beer sales there.
Get rid of.
You gotta walk to the front
volleyball
door.
court.
It's not that far though, I walked
You
first.
could,
I'm gonna write that down because that's my staff's opinion too, is that we could
Don't
get rid of
place
the
that,
volleyball
yeah.
court, cause they have to go till it and
It's sand,
put sand
right.
every down.
that's a lot of.
Every year and we're
maintenance.
spending money on something that's not being utilized, so nothing else, we can just make it a
Grass. Nothing
grass,
else.
yes.
So that property is up for $299,
How many acres?
75, just under 75 acres.
Whoa, that's
We got just over 1 million in our open space reserve.
75 acres is right next to McJanet. Cause the property I'm thinking of is much smaller.
It's a 74.4 acre lot.
To the south of McJanet,
pinpoints, hard to tell, the pinpoints are directly in the middle of the field, there's McJanet, there's the.
Can't be a lot of property for sale there, right?
Well, McJanet's up, so the McJanet's right here.
Is that the guy
Oh,
across
did
the
I have
road?
the wrong pull off
yeah.
there?
Boy, that other property would be impressive, and that's the
Oh,
property you
I
might
bet
wanna
that
look
is.
for
It's
for that
on- that's
trail.
on-
Oh, it sells it,
That's
yeah.
on Central Park Road, yeah.
So this was like an old, they were gonna have like a drug rehab area for people who,
She ran.
apparently the guy was in
preschool.
service drugs, got his rehab, came out of it, and built this place, it was gonna be a retreat. Well, he bailed out on
Seven
it,
some acres there,
Yeah.
that's what that is.
Oh, that's just a random pull off.
so this is being, it's just a small pull off with a little piece next to it, and that's being sold by the owner, he's just got his own sign out there, I don't know if it's on like,
Wouldn't be on the list.
it's still all right.
Well, the other pull off is
Yeah.
better, next to 75 acres.
It is, I used to go to daycare, it's a nice spot, though, really nice,
Yeah, so that one's not showing up
It's
yet,
like
that
4,000
on
acres, that's not
here.
late.
and it might not be, he's just got a sign down
It's
there.
by
I can
owner.
figure it out.
It's
It's for sale by owner.
But 75 acres,
Yeah, that's,
299.
So listed as 15
That's not
acres,
that's.
For prices today.
That,
There's different.
like 299.
oh, it's
Zillow
15
shows
acres.
it's 15 acres.
That probably makes more sense.
Realtor.com says
299.
74.4
It's a pretty good
acres.
deal.
Yeah,
It's 4,000 an
what do you
acre.
got, guys?
Yeah.
Everybody's gonna run home and try.
Yeah, just a minute, guys.
Cause that might even connect some down close to the bird Tonaville.
Yeah, that's what Realtor.com.
I can't think of that guy's name,
Yeah.
that owns that.
Yeah,
It was the group
It's
that
the
wanted
same
to put
picture on
the
Zillow too.
campground in, the,
no, that's a different spot. I
oh, that's a
think.
different.
It's a different spot, yeah.
Well, they wanted to put in some sort of like rehab facility, like in the forest.
Yeah,
Oh, somebody's got the wrong acreage there.
Yeah.
something for Jared to look at anyway, right?
Okay, yeah, we got it in the notes here, that's a good idea, and I put the get rid of the, consider getting rid of the volleyball court, I think that makes sense. And we can think of possibilities of those other things, maybe at the next meeting, if we come up with some ideas, but.
It does seem that maybe a pickleball court or something would be easier to maintain cement with the
Brush it
black
off.
walnuts, because, I mean, once it falls in that sand, nobody's gonna sit there. But
Yeah.
if there's a big push broom or something,
Kick it off.
you know, you'd sweep it off and you could play for a couple hours and sure.
And we've already done some tree work down
Trimmed,
there, we
yeah.
trimmed it
A
back,
lot,
so.
quite a bit,
Right,
Yeah.
so maybe you could move it out closer to the road, but put a fence in
yeah,
and get away from the walnuts a little bit and, you know, I don't know,
yeah.
satisfy all.
I mean, maybe cut down some walnut trees,
Or
you
cut
know what
them
I mean?
down.
I
I
mean,
would
it's,
just
they're
sell
not tremendously valuable.
I'm glad you said that, I was gonna say,
Yeah, I mean, it's.
they're a pain in the neck.
They are.
But I mean, I would hate to lose an opportunity to have pickleball or basketball, or, I know the people in Cheshire would love having, you know, something right there that
Pickle.
you could walk
I think
through
a
and-
combo court is.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, that's the way to
Absolutely.
go, yeah.
Yeah.
People
Yeah.
play basketball there, for sure.
Yeah, yeah, they do use it.
Yes,
The backboard needs replaced and it's due anyway, so I was just
Yeah.
thinking, how can we efficiently.
Just move it, yeah,
Yeah,
get it.
do it all at
Yeah.
once and have a better spot with it, so. So Ananda Park Uplands project update, so there's some of the pictures and.
Greg, can we just go back just quick?
Oh, yeah.
So we do have money in the budget to do something with a walking trail around Pierce Park this year? Is that, I think?
we
Yes,
talked
it
about
was.
that before,
Okay.
yeah.
It was, yeah, Jim said that the paving machine that we would use for the path
width.
is like really popular, to say that,
Okay,
you know.
but we do have that on the budget for this year, is to have a walking path around Pierce Park.
Mhm.
So maybe we could connect in a new smaller little piece through that pine, so,
Yeah,
okay.
And I didn't know we owned the Pines, cause that is a beautiful spot in there
it is, yeah.
and could be very nice spot to even someday have like. Maybe even a little pavilion in there or a place, a picnic table,
Yeah, and there's already a path that goes there because there's a big covert,
Yep.
you know, about halfway to the park, and then the road that's going up the side is going to our
Water or
water
something,
treatment,
yeah.
so I mean, it's all, so I guess the thought was, and I asked Jim, would you care if we came up the side of the road and cut through the pines and went out the path? And he didn't think that there'd be a problem, but it's been a nice little trail, and I just know my kids, if I'm sitting there at a picnic table, they're good for about 2 minutes and they wanna do something.
Then they're finding the poison ivy.
Yeah, if they go play, now, then I could see them through there.
Right.
If there wasn't the poison ivy, but.
Right,
uh,
no, I think it's a great idea.
And to clear out along the other side of that little creek, because they get down in that creek to play, and on the managed side, it's nice, the mowed side, but on the other side, a lot of thorns, raspberries, things like, and if you could have the trail walk through there and then just clean down to that,
Yeah,
it gives the kids an opportunity to play down there safely.
If you're going to put a trail back there, I've talked about pocket parks repeatedly. And we haven't tried that yet, and it seems to me, look up pocket parks.
all right.
There's one in the that container building down on, what street is that, the old list buildings. What is that sticks, what's that thing called, that apartment complex?
Something 245.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
So there's what they call a pocket park, right in the center of that. But you could make a small one, just 2 seats, a little table for, say, elderly people walking, and then they can sit and chat for a while. I think we need to try it. We have all these different places where a pocket park would be appropriate. We have 37% of the town of Canandaigua population over the age of 60 or whatever. Try something like that, for crying out loud.
I agree.
I think
Yeah,
that's a.
this would be a
great
perfect spot.
So
Yeah.
look, just look it up and you'll see, there's all sorts of really cute little designs. I don't think they cost that much, honestly. Just need a little thought.
Great. I think that's a great idea for that.
And it's all level ground, there's not gonna be any
Yeah.
steps, you can go right around and
Yeah,
you can take it in a wheelchair.
50,000 in the budget for the Pierce Park walking path.
There you go.
Thank you.
But that sounds like a lot of money, but when you start
I
paving
know, I
that,
know,
it's
it's
gonna,
not.
that'll go in a hurry,
Yeah.
right?
Get 3 feet.
Yeah.
Well, would we change our idea then around about the walking park around the athletic fields and shift to putting the walking park into the pines? Cause if you're going around the athletic fields, it's just gonna be a big loop. And it's fine, but you're gonna be walking by the road for a portion of it, a pretty significant portion. You're gonna be going along someone's yard, and then there's the south side where there's a little bit of that forest there.
Well, I think it comes down to 2 things to me. Is the walking path for people to go and get some exercise? Or is the walking
Which is what
path-
it was, that was
Or
the,
is the walking path gonna be more a pocket park, get back into the pines,
See
get a
it.
little bit of nature back in there, and some place to sit quietly.
It
What
is-
what about both?
right, well, I'm
If you
thinking,
walk, if you walk.
that could be another loop off from
Yeah.
And
the,
you've got $50,000.
Yeah.
Right.
But
Right.
it's the perfect place to start with a new idea.
Yeah.
You know, because now Blue Heron Park, we already have amenities that are going to be going in there as a result of this project. up in
so
North
the
Park.
paving of that came from a request from people that came to a meeting from Cheshire
Mhm.
that said, we would like a walking trail around the
Around.
outside, so we didn't have to walk on the road, we don't.
We
No,
get
that
more
would-
People
compliments
fly on that
from,
road.
Oh,
we get more compliments from that pavement at Outhouse than any other thing we've ever
Yeah,
done.
yeah.
right.
It's crazy,
Yeah.
so.
So I don't wanna lose that idea.
Yeah, I don't wanna lose
of
that
having
idea either, yeah.
I think once we get that done, which is in the budget, as much as we can do with whatever's there, then I think a next step, maybe looking at 2026. That little land, or if your team's got time,
That was.
to just start working,
Yeah, just a chip trail,
yeah, to start, right,
To start, because we
Yeah.
got a lot of trees that need to come down, a lot of ash trees actually on site.
yeah.
And that chipper that we have was super impressive. We were putting huge
Logs,
chunks
yeah.
of, big logs of this, so might have some of it. right
Yeah,
on
so
hand.
I think any little trail through there, in
gonna go.
addition, I think is a great idea.
Do you know how many acres, I mean, I could probably look it up, that we own on the other side of that creek into those pines? I mean, I know the farm's there,
Yeah,
is
no,
that the boundary?
yeah, I think it's just those
Yeah.
pines that's right there.
Okay.
I mean, it wouldn't be much. It'd be a short little trail, but
Yeah,
I think for some folks, it'd be great, and it's.
But it
really
wouldn't
is a
be-
pretty
would it be something
flat
that,
hike.
would it be something that that you could just jaunt off of the trail around all
Yes.
the athletic fields
Yes.
relatively quickly?
Yes, cause right with the
There
trail
would
came
connect.
through, like, there's a covert, I wish we were there and I could walk and I could show.
yeah,
This real easy little connection, just be a little woodsy add-on that
Yeah.
some people who like the trail run can add on to it, or if you just wanna hike, but just a thought that it was, and it looks easy to do to me.
What's the code for a paved trail? Like, what's the grade before you have to actually like incorporate step downs or things? Like, can you,
Question, I'd have to ask you.
cause you're gonna have to cut down that little hill behind the park, down behind the backstop. And there's a little bit of a drop there. I don't know what
You
needs to
probably
be
cut
graded.
that down, you know what I mean,
Yeah.
to keep the,
And
so
then
that, yeah,
Make it a
yeah,
gentle grade.
right,
Come at
right,
the
could-
angle, use
right,
the slope
right,
of the
yeah.
hill.
yeah, we could probably figure that out.
Can we go back to Miller Park for a minute?
Yes,
So Miller Park, since that non-existent eclipse last year, I've been keeping track of Miller Park at night. And there are always people there at night. Now, and I don't believe that they're getting undressed in the backseat of their car. I believe that they're there because they wanna see clear skies and planets, stars, northern lights. We've had more northern lights sightings this year than I can ever remember hearing on the news, that you're capable of seeing them. Is there any type of instrument that we could put there that would the way to see northern lights there is to block out the residual light. So I'm thinking, wow, you know, it'd be great to encourage people to go there. You can park facing north if there are northern lights, and maybe Hective turns off its lights at night, you'd be able to see them. But you know, there's like a camera type thing, or a place where you can set your camera, or keep that in mind, that's what people are pretty much doing, I believe, because I see them sitting on the front with their cameras.
And their dogs, they walk their dogs.
They walk their
yeah.
dogs too.
I'm not there at night, that's good, great information,
It's because the park closes at dusk.
They're not supposed to be there.
But they-
I was gonna
Hold
say,
on,
but-
who's there? We'll have to
I.
look at the sheriff's
Let 'em
trespass.
Yeah, right. Don't tell. So. Were you a sheriff or a city?
Yes.
Sheriff's.
Oh, that's. Okay. No, I'm only kidding,
Thanks for sharing.
only kidding.
All right.
I don't see any reason why we can't encourage people to use our parks at night, if they're usable. I mean, what kind of damage are they going to do to Miller Park at night? Come on.
I would think we don't want to encourage them, but we don't want to discourage them. So I wouldn't make it that they were just look away.
So
Don't say
all the
anything.
teenagers are down on the city pier creating havoc. I know that for a
But we don't want them to come up to Miller Park.
Yeah.
so we-
Put a piece of equipment there and I'll tell you what kind of damage they can do.
Yeah.
True. Something to vandalize. What happened to? Motion
You
Junction?
know, if you start with one, maybe it would work out, maybe it wouldn't. I don't know. I just think we should encourage people to use the parks day and night, frankly.
So Ananda, these are not even the most recent, as Dave was pointing out, we've got major construction going in. Now, this was probably a couple weeks ago. Of course, the trees went down and put the temporary road, but now they put in some pretty big pipes and some water collection on digging out areas, so in preparation to do quite a bit more. So at the top, Jim says we're gonna be cutting 8-foot cuts to be able to get the road up there. So we're talking major construction, and it's not gonna look nice while the big construction's going on. The second parking lot down is pretty much used for the equipment and stone and stuff, so really only gives the one parking lot up at the top, which, isn't a lot for summer or non, so parking we're concerned about for the summer, just buses. So we know we can use some of the parks like McJanet, Pierce, and there is a pull-off area on the way to McJanet on the right-hand side that we can use as well.
You're thinking school getting out summer groups, buses,
They come and they drop the kids up, and they're used to parking the buses
up
there,
there.
but we're not gonna be able to let them
Yeah.
stay. It's not
Yeah,
gonna
there's
have
that
enough
one
parking.
place around the corner. On what's that,
Yeah,
Barnes Road?
Barnes
Yeah.
Road, yeah, I wonder if
Yeah.
we encourage them to head there.
That's another spot, but they're gonna have to.
Firm that up though, that's dirt, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's not-
Yeah,
They're
It's
gonna have to
pretty
back that
firm.
bus in nice.
So if we go up Barnes Road and we turn right, that's a
Seneca Point,
Seneca Point, so there is a pull-off area that Jim uses for
gravel staging,
gravel and stuff
yeah.
right there that they can certainly pull as well, just won't have any, you know.
And there's a
bathrooms.
trail that starts there, the Boy Scout trail starts right at that pull off.
That would be easy, close,
You could get a few buses in there.
yeah.
Yeah.
So. Do you have any other ideas? That's probably the closest one. Pierce, I think the parking's limited, right? So, but it does have bathrooms and they can go get food at the store there, so.
Yeah.
But definitely something we've been looking at and concerned about, so.
So what's the Y say about the parking situation? Are they aware of it yet?
We're having a meeting with the Y tomorrow.
Oh, they're gonna become aware of it.
Yeah, so we've already had to move some of the places that they're used to using, so. they're gonna-
They've been aware of they've been aware of the plans and that there's gonna be some changes this summer, so.
But reality sets in when you go to try to get up there to park.
Yeah.
And if the equipment's running, it's even worse, so.
While you're on, Ananda, I'll briefly mention, as I think I mentioned here, we applied for that $50,000 T-Mobile hometown grant, we did not get that. And so I'm gonna reapply for this current quarter, because it's a quarterly grant. And so
Who got it, do you know?
they don't tell us.
Yeah.
It was, I think they only selected like 20 projects in the whole country,
Okay.
so.
What are they looking for, you think?
So they call them placemaking initiatives, so they're looking for projects that bring people together and this and that, so I wrote up this grant as, you know, I thought we had a perfect placemaking initiative here with the inclusiveness and accessibility that we're trying to turn Ananda into. It just wasn't selected. We have a hard time getting grants in this area, because we're looked at as an affluent community.
Right.
But I'm gonna apply again for this next current quarter. The application's due July 1st or something. I'm just gonna resubmit the same application. They said it was a great application. It just was very competitive, and only, I think it was like, 20 projects throughout the whole country were selected. $50,000, up to $50,000 grants. So, and that was what the intent was, to try to get an ADA compliant cabin as the group of cabins that we're looking to purchase. So to be able to purchase one of them. So,
Do an ADA compliant park area. Because our parks really are not ADA,
well, I know, that's what we're trying to
They
turn
really
it
are
on
not.
into.
I'll tell you right now.
That's why we got to cut back in this road, we're reducing the slope significantly. But trying to get put a bathhouse off of that hill that you can't get to.
I understand, yeah.
So we're building a bathhouse in the center of a circle where their cabin's gonna be right there. Each cabin that we're trying to get is gonna have its own accessible bathroom in it. So we're trying, it's
You
the
know,
money.
you can get a rubber mat to get down to the beach at Ononda for like $500.
And I do have that on my list, just
You
as
know,
something
and
to
I've
keep
been
track of.
talking about that for 5 years.
We've
too.
been talking about that actually for many years, is what can we do at the beach to have,
Right,
so I mean, that's something, we touch base on too, that
Okay,
what are the options that
Right.
someone could use a wheelchair? I mean, some of those, they have rollers to go into
It's
the water,
not-
or someone with stability issues,
absolutely.
could walk on a mat, so anything, I mean, if you
Mark,
come across
what
anything.
started me was I typically will go down to that park and sit and watch the lake, cause I like the lake. I can no longer walk to the lake because I can't walk on grass. Neither can anyone with a pair of crutches or any type of mobility aid. And so I was watching a man with a pair of crutches trying to get down to the beach because the beach was open. So he was walking down, the pathway, it's blocked off in the summertime. And he got to the beach and he realized that there was no way he could walk down that stone pathway. And that's the first time I brought up that thing, because I've seen them on ocean beaches. Pretty much every ocean beach I've been on, it has those paths, those rubber mats.
I will definitely look into that.
That's something we've talked about for several years, is,
And you don't
Some
need
way
a
to
very
make that-
long one, you need
yeah.
one that goes from the paved driveway over to the, what,
Suggestion. I know we talked about, once again, paved paths that could get to the places there,
Yeah.
but that's
I
a
think-
big project,
yeah.
but that's a nice, quick, easy fix suggestion, so thank you.
I think some of the issues with doing any
You haven't
major
been to a board
structure
meeting
stuff
yet,
there
but
is that
it's
it's still owned by
just-
the DEC,
Yeah,
Right.
I don't think we can do anything there
yeah.
till we own it,
no.
on the lakeside.
No, I
Structurally, yeah, but
I
that's,
understand.
but that's
Yeah.
just laying it out now.
You
so,
can rolled up in the winter time, I'm assuming.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
roll it.
they roll up, yeah.
so any other Ononda work, any other, while we're at Ononda, as far as getting ready for the year, anything you guys had to do, or,
Just the
What you did, the
technology that we
trees
talked
and-
about, the trees, some safety things, and
yeah, okay,
and then mostly like technology based is the big improvements this year, so.
Yeah.
So that's something we could do quick and.
Yeah.
Within the budget that we have this year, so I have a lot of ideas for Ononda,
Yeah.
but would certainly. Probably not happen right away, but certainly I'll bring some ideas to the meeting. I'd like to see a store down there, some food options. Which we can bring up, because we do have the 13,000 that we're gonna bring up here. But I've been looking into some of that as well, because one of the suggestions was to use the current kitchen facility, could we lease that out? I'll say, looking into it, it doesn't look like the septic would be the holdup. Cause that, when he sent me the septic information, it's like 1957, and when you get into business, then there's gonna have to have a grease trap in there, so we're talking probably some pretty good bucks to get it to be able to be leasable. They don't like septics from the sounds of it there, and everything's septic there, even the sands next door, everybody,
Yeah.
so. So looking there, but we could potentially bring in a food truck as a quick fix, I don't know what
I don't think from this committee, there was a big push to make
the food.
the food, to really do much, I think there were others that pushed that, I don't think the committee had that as a big goal, so.
Yeah, and the store we were looking at, where a good potential for that would be the game room area.
Yeah.
To put a nice, small little store, just so when folks are there, they could go and get charcoal, lighter fluid, lighters,
Yeah,
wood, ice, that if you're staying, instead of having to go into Canandaigua, and we could make a little tiny bit of money off of it, but more importantly, the convenience for them there in a location. I think we could put it in and still keep the game room, if we do a concession stand there, we could possibly do that and still keep all of them as well, a small one. But just something to think about if you're down that way and kind of go in and take a look, but.
we had also talked too about maybe canoes or kayak rentals,
Yes.
so,
So we did secure from Jeremy Fields a donated kayak rack. And I need to work with Jim to get it. The board did approve us to take that donation. We just,
Where did it? We got the resolution went through
Last meeting.
Yeah,
last
last
meeting,
meeting.
so we're good. We just
Okay.
need to schedule picking that up and taking it over there. And then at what point we can look at getting maybe some donations for those, otherwise we'll have to purchase some kayaks. It looks like you can put kayaks, canoes, paddle boards, the whole deal on that. There's actually
Jim was talking about bringing it here and fixing it up a little bit, because it's got like a like a real shaky roof,
Yeah, there's a. it's
like a
pretty-
tin, it's that old metal roofing that's on the top of it, so,
Was
yeah.
it 12 paddlecraft?
It's,
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
big,
well,
it's big,
a
yeah.
big- It was big.
It's nice, it'll be a nice addition though.
I think, I thought Lindsay had told me at one point we already have 6 kayaks somewhere
There are some over,
that have been donated over the years. So,
Kayaks or canoes?
Kayak.
think there
let's
was
say
kayaks.
kayaks, yeah.
Didn't Dennis used to do a canoe? The
Yeah.
canoe thing, I thought those were town canoe, maybe not,
I don't know.
I would
could be.
later, especially.
But anyway, so that's
Yeah.
something still, I
yeah,
just
yeah,
wanted to
no,
make sure we
we're
didn't lose
gonna be
track of
moving
that,
forward with
okay.
that, but
Yeah.
then we did talk with insurance, so we're good.
Yeah.
So we just have to purchase life jackets, the whole.
Yeah.
It's just, that's where, another reason where the store came in is, like, we don't really have a great place to rent that out. You know, our gatehouse is pretty small.
Yeah.
And,
So then you hit the staff that, right?
and that's why that's when I started thinking, could we expand the gatehouse, or is there another way to do this, and then maybe have a store, that's where it all kind of comes from. There's issues with all of those, number one, big funds, and how will we build onto anything, and septic is right there behind the gatehouse, so there's a lot of septics there, so there's a lot of challenges in some regards, but using existing structures would be the way to go.
And existing staff that are, I mean, we have, what do we, what rangers that are
Ranger
there?
station is right there, so that would be the next best.
But I mean, they would be the people that would be handling all the rentals, and if someone needed something, they would be. So it wouldn't be adding a lot of staff during the course of the day to.
I mean, it would depend on how active it gets.
Yeah.
We certainly would start off with, trying to work with what we got, and then depending on, what kind of activity we get from it, kind of revenue we start making from it.
Yeah.
To whether we need additional seasonal staff or not.
For food and drink, you could put as an option, just making kiosks, vending machines, or machines that you don't need staff for.
Right.
You can outsource that even if you want to still make low maintenance, but still make a little money.
Now, good suggestions, but trying to bring stuff to them, I know some folks would like the ice cream, be able to buy ice cream there for different things, but, when we get into making merchandise, it looks like there's some extra permit stuff that I would have to go through, so I started looking into some of that. Because quickly coming up to budget where we are gonna look at requesting some stuff for that, so it's certainly on the radar, looking at the potential, so if anyone has thoughts or suggestions, or wanna go down to Ananda on a beautiful day and take a look and report back, that would be outstanding.
One thing you could do is open that up to people who are experienced in doing this and say, how about having a satellite office out at Onondaga? And say, start with one day a week, take a couple of your kayaks down there, have one of your people down there, go through let them manage it for a year or two and see if it builds up. Once it builds up, then you can get to the point where you can take a portion of the proceeds. It makes a whole lot more sense than trying to establish your own type of mini store.
I was at a place where we rented kayaks. And there was a guy full-time there who was helping them fill out liability forms, getting them the life jackets, training them. Some people don't know how to.
Yeah.
So it was
Pretty involved.
full-time.
Yeah.
job for one guy.
I mean, I wouldn't give a
Help them
kayak to
carry
just
them down to the
anybody.
water.
Well, lime kiln, you go to the gatehouse,
Right.
whoever's sitting in the gatehouse,
They
they hand you a paddle and they hand you a life jacket. They wave.
Yeah.
That's New York State, so.
Yeah, that's, I mean, it could be that simple that.
Right.
I mean, it is we just gotta have the right forms, liability waivers and all that, and then it's on them to.
Well, I don't even think the state of New York has you fill out, you hand them the money and they hand you that lime kiln.
That's one, yeah, that is true.
Yeah,
And there were preliminary discussions too, because if we do have a store and we're doing kayaks and this and that, of having a person kind of there that's a recreation kind of specialist that would be there instead of just relying on ranger kids that get these stuff out, so we could have that consistency potentially down the road, so. But there's been some early discussions on the structure of that as well, so how we would do it.
I think it's something that we should pursue. If it doesn't go, it doesn't go. You know, I mean, that's the way it works, you know, so. If we have 6 kayaks, we have a start, you know what I mean? We can hand them a paddle or buy bill.
Yep,
Here you go.
I agree, there's a start, yeah, and I think we're gonna be able to do that, so. Well, it's exciting, but yes. Anything else on Ananda?
It is on the water trail.
I
So,
wonder if anyone's ever paddled that far
it's a
down.
long, well,
on
it
the
depends
water
where the
trail.
wind's blowing.
Yeah,
Yes. We are.
You?
I'm not here.
Programs and special events, I know Mark had this music in the park, so we got our dates, we got wonderful, actually, I'll get down to, there's Mark's time.
I'll send that out so anybody can start sharing that.
Really nice.
But again, 2 food trucks for I just put the movie on there. I just want to touch base tonight quick. We'll talk about or I just put the concerts. I mean, we'll touch base on the movies.
Yep.
But, yeah, so our 3 concerts, 2 food trucks and an ice cream truck at all of them, and then, same deal as last year, pretty much.
We've been promoting it heavy out on Facebook, et cetera.
We gotta hit that sign at Outhouse Park. I have that on my list here. Jared was gonna be all over that sign, remember?
Yeah, I remember that. Still hasn't changed.
It's still red, blue, and the senior thing are the
Yeah.
only 3 that are on there.
Cause we did connect with Tammy on the sign,
For the,
we're talking for outhouse. right?
No, for the digital sign.
Oh, the digital, for the,
We should probably get the concert. It's the 11th.
Yeah.
So I should get that concert on there
Yeah.
now.
the
Yeah.
one at Outhouse.
Yeah.
And we have access to a rotating sign through the Lamar sign.
The billboards,
Lamar
the billboards.
billboard?
Yeah,
Is
yeah.
that Tammy? Is that, oh, okay.
No,
or was that now?
you mean
Is it electronic?
the town, the big
The digital.
billboard?
The big one in either.
The
either
Is
end.
that Lamar?
Sue Srencione works with them to. figure
Okay.
it out. I don't know who the company is, but anything to be put up there, send it to Sue and she works with them to get stuff up there.
Give Sue's email.
Yeah,
That's it, yeah.
yeah.
I mean, we should probably get that up there, like, you know, next Monday, instead of what, the 2nd of June, so.
I get it up tomorrow.
Yeah.
Well, it's on our,
own,
on ours,
yeah.
but on the big, I
Yeah,
think we should get on the big one too, you know what I mean? For the-
absolutely.
You know, for,
So my understanding is that sign rotates a week. We get a display a week on the what end of town is that?
north end,
North end, but there's 2 billboards and it
Right.
rotates week by week.
right,
So, but, yeah, I mean, anything we can get up there.
I know we connected with Tammy, so I'll clarify.
Who's
on that.
Tammy?
Tammy Brace, she does like the sign at in the lobby there, a monitor and stuff, and so.
What, she work in the.
She works in the development office,
okay.
but she does other things too, she's a,
is
Okay,
she's a digital sign for our house as well?
I don't know who, I think I remember talking about last time, to find out who controls that and where the actual controls are.
For some reason, I thought it was Kim.
it is.
It is
Kim,
Kim,
I'm sorry.
yeah.
You're
Yes,
right,
yeah.
Who
Yes.
does that one?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I thought it was her,
You're right, you're right.
And I thought she said she had
Tammy
old
helps design-
graphics.
Helps design stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
But yeah, I mean, if you could touch base and anything she could do quick, you know, to get that first we don't have to put all 3 up there, but I think,
I would just put them up one at a time,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
and then after that concert, quickly jump to the next, the next concert
Yeah.
out and the next concert out.
We'd have to. Let's see how she does that. And if it's a program, just through a computer or something, we'll have to have other people, like you can learn how to do it.
Okay.
And then this way, if we need to just pop on, she part-time, so she only.
There
works,
should be people
computer.
trained, because that was the reason that we couldn't get stuff up quickly last year, was because
Right,
everyone
yeah.
was waiting to be trained.
Right,
So I'm assuming after all that time, a lot of people got trained.
at least one person.
Wow.
Yeah, I'll have to touch base.
Let's
and see if
figure
there's
that out,
something
see
I
how
can-
we work
Something I
this
can
line.
do, that's a good suggestion.
Yeah, we wanna get that up there as soon as
Yeah.
possible on our sign.
If it's anything like the scoreboard at the high school, it's pretty easy to do.
I'm sure it's.
Yeah.
Did we
So-
touch base with her, didn't we, and her?
I thought she said she had graphics and was gonna do it,
Yeah,
but
that's because they had something from last year that she was.
yeah,
similar.
yeah,
They were limited to 3 lines, that was a conversation that we were on.
yeah,
Okay,
so,
I'll touch base tomorrow.
okay.
See where we're at.
And then we talked at the last meeting too about possibly a new design for the two. One says Outhouse Park and the other the date, other than the same blue and red that maybe people who drive by there every day tuned out and don't even look because it's the same blue and red every time. Just a redesign of the same,
Yeah, I think I had mentioned that to her as
Yeah.
well, and I'm still just trying to get my head around everything, and she was saying it's pretty limited in what we can do with that sign.
But we
Yeah.
can change blue to
The color,
red, red
the
to blue,
font,
green,
the-
you know, do
add a
something.
graphic or
Yeah,
you know,
Yeah,
a
something that-
bouquet of spring flowers or
Parks meeting tonight.
Very good, thank you.
You know what, as long as we're right there, let's quickly talk about the movie. We're good with the movie, the only thing we need to do is, well, we need to do two things, we'll wait for Randy not to be listening for one of them, but, what movie? We talked, I had emailed you, what's the
The Minecraft
the
one.
Minecraft movie? I haven't heard anything bad about. I don't know.
Kids love it.
That's what the kids, yeah.
And,
Kids love it.
and
we want one that
It
kids
was so
love.
It's
bad.
gotta be stupid as hell. If
The
they love
kids
it,
love
it's
it.
yeah,
Yeah, that's fine,
That's what we're here for.
right,
I mean, it's a kid movie
Oh,
night,
yeah.
you know?
yeah.
right.
Yeah, they love it.
Yeah.
That would be. they
So, I
certainly
mean,
love
and
to
that's
see it.
just coming out streaming like maybe
June 13th.
June,
June 13th is what I was told from BOCES when we could get access to it.
yeah. So I mean, that'll be a recent one. There was another big one, but it doesn't come out until,
Emilio comes out in September.
yeah, but right after our movie, but are we good with showing that as our movie?
So if it doesn't come out till June 13th, oh wait, no.
Movies.
This is
movies are-
concert,
This is a
This
concert.
is
right?
August, this will be
It's
August,
it's
Friday,
August.
August 15th.
Yeah,
that one, done that, yeah.
We have actually a third food truck added to that. We have the Dos Bros Tacos, the kids from the high school. Along with Cooks and Finger Lake Roasters. We're all set with the screen rental. We're confirmed with Joe. He'll do the projection and the sound. And have the blow up screen. And the only question is, do we do bounce houses? I think it's an attract, well, Jamie, you got the kids. Is it an attraction to have bounce houses next to the playground?
I mean, they'll be bouncing in there.
Yeah, they use it.
I don't know, they'll use it. I don't know if it's gonna draw people in.
if you blow them up out front though, you know, that it
Yeah,
does.
it's that whole
kids-
carnival
Yeah,
feel
yeah.
to it.
You know, there's somebody's got signs stuck in the ground that has, that's
It's the
advertising.
same guy, it's
Oh, it is,
CJ,
it is
yeah.
the same guy.
Yeah. And we had talked before, the only issue if we went with bounce houses, who could we get to staff it? So last year it was a struggle to have Randy there the whole time, because Randy wasn't supposed to be.
No, it's just. I get a little.
I agree
I
with
get a
you.
little authoritative sometimes.
I
And when
agree.
kids
It's only a
are,
matter of time. till
and when
something
kids are
gets
getting
his
hurt,
attention.
you know, when there's big kids and little kids,
Yeah.
that bounce.
Yeah.
There needs
That's
to be,
bad,
there
it's bad.
needs to be adult
It's trying to
supervision.
separate them.
I don't know if you've
Really
created
flying
any,
around.
any connections of any groups or anyone that if you know, could look for extra volunteers, or the football team will come manage parking for us. So they're already on. We tried to use them for the bounce. They just,
They don't
They
care.
were
Kids don't pay
overchecked.
attention to
Yeah.
kids.
you can't, you
they don't
can't put a
care.
16 or
They don't
17-year-old.
Jared Simpson's a Rotarian,
So
so there's an Interact Club.
you're a kids
But
can't
I'm
do
not
it.
in this Rotary Club.
Kids can't do
Can't
it.
have kids supervised.
They're teenagers.
Kids can't do
They,
it.
they don't pay enough attention.
They can't.
How many bounce houses you talking about? Just
Last year we did two. We did one that was like just a small little one and we
like
only
an
allowed
ages
5 and under.
6 It's
Six
5 and
around.
down.
You really had to separate it, okay, you got
Yes.
little kids, you're over here.
Here's the sign.
But then they wanna, they wanna intermingle, and I get that, but it's like you can't, that
Right.
kid weighs 50 pounds more than you.
Right, and that little kid's, you know,
I was about to
but
say,
we had to manage and say only 3 in it or however many at a time, and the next thing you know, there's 14 kids, well, I don't know what your number
Can the
was, but-
bounce houses, let them play on the
So-
playground.
but I don't know,
There- I mean-
Jamie said a carnival like
I like
Is that what you're looking for?
Yeah.
The kids wanna go in them, there's no doubt about it.
Right,
Kids
right.
have
It's a
riot
real
being in
rumble.
it.
It's a
Kids have
real
riot
Yeah.
Can you do 2, one for little kids and one for?
We did.
That-
already
that's
did
right,
that.
But someone needs there to manage, to
And
two
2
different
different
manage.
houses.
yeah,
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 two
yeah,
different
yeah,
bounce
two
houses.
different ones.
But then the kids wanna go in the one
They
that
wanna
they're not
fly back.
supposed to go with the bigger kids and,
This small.
yeah,
Yeah,
Yeah.
stand up next to this
Could
pole.
put a sign,
You gotta have a sign.
parents supervise your own children.
Wait,
That
That
never,
won't
that's
happen.
never gonna work.
Now you're gonna have
so-
fights, I think.
But you have to pick a sign up, yeah.
Then the parents are gonna be rolling around the ground.
if we can manage it, if we can I mean, we don't need to put that out there for another month or two, if we
Yeah.
can.
surprise them.
I think it's a good feature to add to that night.
I
think
don't
it's-
disagree with that.
So, if we can manage it, are we good proceeding if I mean, we have money for it and we have 5 sponsors this year, so we have, but we had it in the budget.
It's worthwhile doing, it's just
Managing it.
managing so nobody gets destroyed.
So
No kid- no
if-
kids
if-
crying.
If Greg and I can meet and come up with a way to manage it, otherwise we'll bag them, how's that sound? Okay,
Get some gym teachers.
so, they're the worst.
Just let them roll.
You are in recorded.
Good, so we're good with movie night. If we'll show that. Can you touch base with, Lindsay's got all the contact information for running the movie and, we gotta go through, Swank, I believe is the name of it.
That's who I talked to.
Yeah. So, thank you. I can cross that off my list.
Very good. The other program events, so events committee working on the 4th of July parade, and then of course Halloween or Renanda, is coming up.
Just quick, is the town doing fireworks?
Yes,
Where?
here,
Okay.
here.
The town is doing, oh, the town and the city.
Well, the city's really
City's
providing.
City's hosting the fireworks.
And they're gonna have a few trash barrels out,
Oh, God.
So you're paying for the.
we're paying.
We're paying, we paid, we have
Where have you
60,000 in the budget, we signed the contract. The city, the mayor was able, because we needed them to pay for the barge, 5,000 for the barge, the mayor got local businesses to donate for the barge.
5,000.
In fact, I gotta touch base with them this week, cause then they were asking us if we already booked the barge and all this, and I'm like, that was on you guys.
We were
but,
just
so.
showing up.
So, however, so there are thoughts and ideas though, that we wanna start doing an actual town firework show.
So something to
We're
throw-
putting all the work and effort and money into it,
Well,
we're gonna
and-
bring, we wanna bring it into the.
And
town.
all the public thinks that the city's doing it. You know, and it is a good spot to do it from a business standpoint, but if we're gonna pay 90% of the costs, we would rather have it on our thing, make food trucks, make it an event for the
What would
town.
you, where would you think?
Outhouse.
Outhouse.
Outhouse,
Yeah.
That's what I was
Boathouse.
Well, that was the
Don't
reason I
like it.
brought it up, because I know there'd been discussion, I
Yeah.
hadn't heard that we weren't doing it.
We are doing it and
Outhouse.
we
Okay, so
committed,
this, so
we've
for
committed
this
to
year,
next year as well.
thinking. But you
Okay.
get swamped with all those neighbors that can walk there.
At Outhouse. Oh, yeah. It's an ideal place to do it. There's just no lake.
may not be a big
it's-
enough place.
Where do they park?
Right,
But
Well,
also
you could
get a
park
lot
at the
of-
Y, you could park
Civic Center?
Civic Center, right? Parking is, I mean, where do they park?
They
to
could
go
watch
to-
it from the Y.
Where do
Yeah,
they,
you're
go?
right.
Where do they park when they go to the pier?
And go park
All over the
park.
place, right? And they
There's a
walk
whole
from
group
all
of
over the
com-
place,
There's a whole
right?
community that's just gonna walk.
Right.
Right.
There's several communities that are.
well, you don't
just
even need to
gonna walk.
leave your house.
If you
Right.
go early enough, you can park on the pier. I'm parking in front of our boathouse.
Well, we're talking about outhouse.
When it's at
now,
our
yeah.
house.
Yeah.
What?
When it's at our house.
What's that,
If it-
outhouse? They
if it
park-
becomes-
Okay, so let's
Plenty of
get through this.
parking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But something to throw on the
Not
committee's
about the city.
plate for next year, because I don't
Events
think,
committee.
what?
Events committee, perfect.
Yeah, but I mean, it's some
Oh,
collaboration,
yeah.
yeah. You don't wanna give up the
I do
control
want-
on that.
wanna move on, we did get a 13K donation for Onondaga Park from, former town supervisor Jim Holden. So the request in the letter that we got, it was to maintain and improve the park facilities. I've received one proposal already for a suggestion to name one of the cabins. And the new cabins that are coming in honor of Mr. Holden. Would like to bring to the group what we would like to do with the 13K. I don't know.
Well, one of the things, I just looked up real quick at your roadway to the beach. 5 foot wide by 35 feet is about $1,500 for
Okay.
one of those.
Yeah,
So
they're cheap.
there would be, that's, you can buy them 3 feet wide, but I don't think you want one 3 feet wide. I think you want
Yeah,
one
we
5 feet
really
wide.
need,
It's this table wide. Is it more than 35 feet you would need?
I don't know if we wanna say a 5 foot wide mat right now, do we wanna say investigate some options? But use
Investigate
some of
that
the-
option,
yeah,
use some
I
of that
mean,
money
it-
for that.
Right.
Yes,
So
someone
If
would
you
have to
use some of that
measure.
money for that.
however,
Go ahead.
the guy donated, he was instrumental in getting the park. Me personally would like to see something more permanent than a mat we're throwing.
Well, that's-
For people- For people to walk
That's not-
around, right?
Well, one
We
of
can put his
the,
name on it.
But maybe we could get a cabin or the
There's a
concession stand.
There's a Holden Lodge, right?
the Holden, there's a Holden Pavilion right down at the end by the lake.
Right, yeah. But they've subsequently donated another 13,000.
Yes, I understand
So
that, yes.
it'd be nice to have some, I mean, I'm not against the map, but we'll find the money to do that map for the town. For you guys to come up with a name for something that's
You
more
know
permanent,
what?
I think would be
I
nice.
think you should wait till the park is signed over to us, frankly.
Well, we might name something on the uplands that we own that
Yeah.
part,
Yes, I understand
Yeah.
that, yes.
yeah, trail or
Oh, I mean, I definitely think
bathroom.
name something, but we're not gonna build much for 13,000.
No, you're not gonna build almost anything, you
Right.
can't even one of those cabins,
Right.
or what are they, 30
I mean,
or 40?
Like,
But
So,
But
you
it-
mentioned something
he was so
like-
instrumental in getting
Yeah.
that park that, and the family's made a donation, so let's,
Oh,
you guys figure out what you wanna name.
names. I just figured we'd name it and that would, and then kind of there would be maybe a list of things that we spent the maintenance money on and improve the,
Yeah,
Was there gonna be a playground?
okay, I knew,
Holden's Outpost for the camp store.
That's what I was just getting, you said it, when, I was like, I don't think we can get the concession up and running,
yeah,
but you could do the Holden
Holden's Outpost.
Right.
listen,
for the store and.
did any of you know Jim Holden? Jim?
no,
yes.
Okay, I was good friends with him. I Jim sat when he was sick for years, when nobody else would do it. I took him shopping, I visited him in the hospital, I worked with him in Rotary. He loved the outdoors. He loved Onondaga Park because of how much open space there was. So one of the things we're doing with Onondaga is we're doing a trail in the upper section. I would propose that we do that trail, we would name that trail the Jim Holden Trail, and then do a plaque at the beginning and at the end in honor of Jim Holden and all that he did to
I think
get
that's
that
great.
park.
Yep.
I mean, we have that Barnes Road land that we really haven't done.
So we created a new trail, or if there was already an existing trail on the
There-
uplands.
I don't know if the plans have changed, because I haven't been in a meeting in a while.
There had been discussion about doing trail work up through that new land. I mean, Lindsay was gonna bring in an outside group, or she was looking for
Above on
people,
Barnes Road. there.
maybe to,
Yep.
yes.
But that's not part of the current project. That trail's not part of the current project that we're
Which-
looking at doing right now.
The one- the-
The upland,
Oh, no, no,
the
no, no,
renovation,
complete-
right,
yeah,
right,
it's completely
Different-
separate,
yeah,
completely separate,
right,
Okay,
correct.
So,
yeah.
but we have that wonderful trail that goes to the waterfall up in the Uplands Park. I could just picture that as being in honor of Jim.
Yeah, I think
I mean, I never
figure out
pictured.
these ideas. I would hesitate to name it the concession because I'd be worried that maybe it's not gonna be a long-term thing and let's try it out first. I'd hate to name something for him that then fails, you know what I mean? And in 3 years, we're not doing a concession there anymore. Just, that would be my concern with that part of it.
The thing with the trail is you can
Oh,
put a
absolutely.
story, you can put a story at periodic intervals on the trail. And he's got a story behind him, a long story.
So we have I mean, that's a good chunk of change to put towards trail maintenance, improvement,
Plaques.
Plaque.
a
You put a
plaque,
plaque at the overlook.
and
of the
still
waterfall.
name maybe a new cabin up there, or
Will there be confusion when you have Holden Pavilion and now Holden Cabin? Will that just be too far apart?
They're
different
far away,
boxes
yeah.
that you check off
Yeah.
too.
Yeah,
We gotta, for the cabins, we gotta think about it, if it comes down to needing sponsors or donations for the cabins,
Yeah.
those may end up getting tied up in other names.
True.
We have a cabin now, though, that we already bought.
Right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm good with those ideas of,
Those
I
are
mean,
good.
maybe look into some ideas about what could. Uses for trail maintenance and. Needs that we have now. And touch base with
Well,
Lindsay too about
That Upperlands Trail. maintenance you're talking
the hiking trail.
Yeah.
Any hiking trails. We have Barnes Road, new hiking trails. That we recently purchased, and upkeep and improvements to our existing hiking trails.
but we can name even one of the existing ones.
Yeah,
They don't have a name, do they?
They don't
they
have.
they
it.
are named.
Are they?
We do have them on a map and they're named,
We can change it.
yeah. But we don't have name, well, that's another thing that was on my list actually for tonight was, we had talked about. We had talked about mapping the Barnes Road trails and adding it to our existing map. Something Lindsay had talked about, and so I mean, that's something to check into is where are we at with anything over on the Barnes Road property? I know, the maintenance, that the park staff had been doing some work. They came to the conclusion that it was over their head. And there was gonna need to be some money spent and maybe some expertise to make a trail that went down maybe to the water. So I mean, if we got 13,000, maybe that could work a trail over there,
Yeah,
you know? So, but if you could check with her on where that ever went.
I'm sorry, I gotta run.
So-
Did you have a timeline on naming that? And do you have a timeline on? Cause I mean,
It's gotta go to the board anyway.
all good ideas, you know what I mean, so.
Yeah.
There's no
Yeah.
huge rush, right?
Yeah, no, there's, well, it's other than the family donated the money, it'd be nice to, if we
Yeah.
give them some kind of thing like, hey. Maybe we could touch bases with them and say, hey, we're working on something kind of exciting, blah, 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 soon to follow.
Maybe
Sorry, I
they
gotta
have a
run.
name.
I unlocked the door, so you'll lock it,
Yeah, we'll watch
yeah,
it.
thanks, guys.
See you.
See you.
I'm almost done. So I know that you had asked about tree sponsors and bench sponsors, we did put a bench at Miller Park, so it has been installed. I think I just got another one for either, interested in either a tree or bench, but we haven't even, I mean, like.
Whatever you got, we really haven't had the committee, all we did, we came up with a bench sponsorship form, the tree team took it on. It gets sent to the town. If a sponsorship comes in.
Yeah.
Knock it out, so,
But the new one came in is down at schoolhouse, is where they're thinking, put something at schoolhouse under a tree or a bench.
if
I'll just let me pass it. Sounds
if you and your team think that's a good spot for a bench, we're pretty good with it. Well, I don't wanna speak for everybody, but we really haven't. You know, every one of those little spots we haven't jumped on or, but. So thank you.
I just have a quick question on the summer rec program, is that full?
The summer rec program.
Yeah, I know it goes through the Y, but
Mm-hmm.
are they full?
No.
You know,
I-
they're not full?
I'm meeting with them tomorrow to get some specifics, but
No, they're not full, because my wife and I was on there just last night or the night before looking at it. And we were still able to sign up if we chose to sign up, so. I think last year they didn't get full either, and they had discussed that, you know, there's not so many people that they couldn't accommodate extras anyway, so. But I don't think they expect to fill up,
Do they allow,
although it depends, because Canandaigua City doesn't have a rec program this year, so.
do they allow a family to go, I wanna use this, I wanna go this week and this week?
Yes, so you can choose different
pick your
weeks, yep, yeah, they have different themes for each week, and so you can go on and pay by the week.
Gotcha. Alright,
It's like $260 per week for a town resident is what it came out to.
But you're up and running, you're meeting with Y tomorrow, just to kind of hammer out stuff for rolling into the rec season.
Cause we had to move them to Gorham because of King Hall being blocked off,
Yeah.
they were gonna be in King Hall, but we've been shuffling around, I think it'll work out well, there was a couple of days that Gorham was already pre-booked for events, but we'll be able to
Okay.
work it out.
Had that on there, right, summer rec.
Mhm.
So we went through all the parks, outhouse park events update. I had just gone through old business and actually we touched on a lot on it. Just things that I didn't wanna get lost that Lindsay had been working on that we talked about. Again, I've crossed probably 3/4 of them off. Something we can't lose track of is we're looking at having a fee for athletic field rentals for next year, which we would have to have ready for January for the fee structure.
Yeah, so that's already actually on our fee schedule, it's just a TBA or TBD, sorry, so it's there, so that we can keep track
Yeah.
and we remember it for when we reapprove the fee schedule for next year, so we just gotta throw the costs.
so we
in
gotta
there.
kind of figure out what's an appropriate fee in the community.
Yeah.
Right.
in the communities.
And we had talked and said that we were only gonna charge a fee to like an organized group that charges,
Like Castle
There-
Soccer or Canada Youth
Right.
Lacrosse or something.
Yeah,
like if a family said, hey, we wanna rent the field to have a family softball game or a flag football game, we're not. If the Y wants to use it for their league, they're gonna have to charge. If Castle uses it, Canandaigua Youth Soccer uses it. That was where we were looking for a nominal fee. I mean, is that, we're not looking to,
It's just
you
a
know, make $1
little-
million
I think it
on
was
it.
just a little skin in the game, say,
Yeah.
you reserved this, but you
Mhm.
haven't been here, 50% of the
Right.
time you reserve it for, so.
Because of nominal.
I don't-
We
yeah,
haven't really looked
yeah.
at it, that's why I said
Yeah.
I'd like to look at some other communities and see what they charge.
The city charges for
City charges.
Northeast Park, Victor charges for all their fields. And all that's online, we can kind of look at it, and get an idea of what.
Makes sense.
And I spoke to the idea about, we talked about mapping, doing something at Barnes Road and mapping that. And then there was the talk about bringing somebody in to get ideas for trail improvements down through there. And again, if you could just check with Lindsay and see where that kind of ended up.
When you say trail improvement, you mean down to
It seemed
down
like,
to West Lake?
no,
There or down
no,
into the
no.
water, down into the.
Up the upper, off the Barnes Road.
Yeah.
So there's that piece that we bought on
Yeah,
Barnes
I know
Road.
where you are.
So there's some trails through there that the family has had.
Yeah.
No,
And there was some talk about maybe, and I don't know exactly where she wanted to get to, but maybe even down to the stream down. Up on the upper thing, but not at the steepest part. I mean, there was,
It's pretty steep.
but. No, I think there's some areas there that are, there are existing trails that the family has.
They could drive a tractor through the
Yeah.
creek
Yeah.
bottom there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They have a road that goes actually through the creek,
alright,
that you can take
I
a
think you know
vehicle
what
through.
you're talking about.
so if
So-
you have a tractor,
There was a.
But I just
If
didn't
they
want
can
to
get a tractor
track,
across, there's gotta be some place
It's- yeah, it
where it
should.
flattens out, where they can drive down that
It-
grade.
and there's still a posted sign on the town property there. You drive down Barnes Road. And there's a posted sign on what is now town land. On what is an open park, really. I mean, hiking,
Is that Feldman?
what's that?
Is that Feldman?
No. I think it's just been there and it never got removed when
I can see him
Vernon Coaches.
posting that property right up.
So we need to pull that.
Hey,
Let's see, make
to
sure
me.
I know.
Signs at Outhouse and Lamar, we talked about that. Have you been introduced to the Bocce Ball League yet? They're playing tonight.
No, not, I think someone called and asked, and I prepped the area.
Okay, yeah, they are, it's a great group to work with, they have like 14 teams that play Wednesday nights. I don't know if they reserved them for Wednesday nights or, but they
That's
are,
pretty cool.
they are in there, they do like it if. They said what happens is kids will get in there and play and dig up the stuff and throw the stone out and occasionally they've asked to just take a tamper. We even talked last year about giving them access to the hose bib on the outside of that one, the building that was there. I think it's just a little key, and they said they could bring their own hose and just wet it down when it got too dry. So I told them that we had told them they could do that. We never really formalized it, finalized it last year. But maybe they will be reaching out. I'll kind of send them your way, but if they wanna manage it and, you know, it seems like we could pack it once in a while and be in communication with them.
How's the base installed?
They said the stone there is pretty good. Again, what they say is a kid will get in there with his dump truck and dig it all up, and then you throw the bocce ball, and instead of rolling, it hits that soft spot and stops, and they're pretty serious about it.
So they don't, it wasn't just a bad throw on their part.
No, they knew what they were doing.
And we
Just
went,
check.
we did some
Grass
weeding
is
and,
full.
I
Yeah,
know the team did some weeding and we raked it all out and
Yeah.
like the next day it was already,
yeah.
so it that got in and.
This group will play every Wednesday night all summer. There's 14 or 15 teams. So. And the other thing, maybe John, this is a question for you. Does the town now own a radar speed thing? Who had the one over on, where did I, on Hickox Road?
Could have been the counties.
Oh,
You,
okay.
you mean the sign that tells you how fast you're going?
Yeah, a little trailer. with
Yeah,
the-
well, they have one. It's on Middle Cheshire Road half the time.
But I was wondering if the town owned it. I thought maybe the town now had one.
Does the town own that one that's on Middle Cheshire Road?
We're in the middle of
Talking about- on Middle Cheshire Road, there's a permanent sign.
It's fixed, right?
Yeah, it's a
Yeah.
But
fixed sign.
for a while before that, there was a portable sign on wheels.
There's been one
Yeah,
sitting
that's-
almost in front of Chin's
Yeah.
house.
Near the process house.
Oh, yeah.
So I just saw it and was wondering,
It's probably the counties.
okay. If we could ever have the county put one on Outhouse Road at some point, just to make
You'd be
people more aware,
surprised.
and now this time, now that that other road is closed, we're getting all that city traffic again. So, I know we had talked at one time about one of those, the solar ones permanent, but they
Yeah.
said they're pretty expensive.
So I will say, in my experience from that road, because would often get lots of complaints on that road, and so we would actually put people out doing traffic counts and such. It appears like vehicles are going much
It's
faster than
not as
they
bad as
are
people
Yeah,
think.
right.
Yeah.
because of the curves of that road. It actually is a road that should probably be a 30-mile-per-hour road.
Yes. Why is it a
Um,
40 mile an hour?
But, because that's what the state has determined, and to
But
get, to allow us to change speed on roads is a very, very difficult task. Even though it's our road, it still has to go through state, and it's rarely ever approved.
Since Motion Junction has started a year ago, have we gone back to the state? Because we have Happiness House on the corner.
I'm not sure, I believe, I talked to Jim about it, that it has been attempted multiple times.
It had been, and I
For that
know
road,
that,
for
I
that
know that.
road, yeah.
But in the past 2 years, we have
Yeah.
another pirate ship on the outhouse side. So now there's two
Yeah.
really compelling playgrounds for children. There's Motion Junction for handicapped, and there's Happiness House for handicapped.
So everything you're saying makes perfect sense.
Makes
But
perfect
it's New York
sense.
State, Karen.
New York State doesn't ever make sense.
Well, I know,
but-
I
but you're right,
I hear you.
I'll
I
talk to
hear you.
Jim.
But I'm helping you make perfect sense when
Yeah.
you go to
Wow.
the state.
Another thing too, we had talked about was.
And wait a minute, and there's old people, because the senior group meets down there.
A crosswalk right there from our paved trail comes up to the road and then it crosses over to Motion Junction. I know that in the past we had talked about a crosswalk there.
You can't do it the way that road is now. You absolutely can't, because cars,
Can't what?
you could not, a crosswalk, you'd get someone killed.
I'm just saying, the talk had been there would be a crosswalk there
Yeah.
with flashing lights.
That's on Jim's radar,
Okay.
to,
But
As long as
here's
he's got
what's gonna,
radar, could he?
here's what's gonna happen, as soon as that road is open again and cars can come back down to North Bloomfield Road and that's heavily trafficked. Those people, they just take the corner on two wheels and go speeding down our house. I mean, and
I don't know,
they're,
John argued
they're-
that, he said
and
it's
they're
not as
every
bad as you
single
think.
week, I see this every single
Yeah.
week.
But my vision there, if we did a crosswalk, would be like the one on a Buffalo Street, you push the button and it flashes. So,
Okay.
but I had seen people standing there waiting to cross, but that had been a talk, was to put a marked crosswalk at our trail that came up over to
So
Motion
from that
Junction.
build, basically from that building.
Building four, is it 400? I can't
Building
keep track,
over.
but
if we do wanna get the state to do anything on that road, or let us do a change, we just have to, maybe we have to designate it as a inmate walking path.
or get
Then
the
they'll-
FAA over there and say it's
Then they'll
close to the
say,
airport.
oh, absolutely.
Any other, I know we've stretched this out, I'm sorry, but any other,
Yes, seniors.
sorry, I
You
didn't
don't
put it
even
on the
have it on
agenda.
your list.
I keep forgetting, I keep forgetting.
Okay, so.
Seniors, senior
The only-
okay.
The reason I'm here is because, number one, I don't
Is that
want
the
you
only
to,
reason?
I don't want you to cut our budget, because budget time's gonna be coming up. So. We have like. Maybe 12 people that come now, we have people from Farmington, no one from Victor, Bristol, Honeoye. Town and the city of Canandaigua. So we have a good group, they're an active group. Your people are great in taking care of us, your people. I have, Victor has, we can partner with Victor on pretty much anything that Victor does, so. But they've stopped doing a lot of stuff, so they no longer have bus trips. And I wanted to do a bus trip this year, so I'm not going to be able to do that. But in place of that, I'm going to ask Lindsay to, I'm going to ask Greg.
This guy right here.
To get the Nutcracker tickets for the group. When they discuss, when they say they're going to have that. And that'll be our one trip, and then the other trip is always to the play over in Mendon. So those are two things, so we need the same budget that we have.
The Nutcrackers in
so-
Rochester,
What?
is it in Rochester, the Nutcracker? Is it in Rochester?
No, it's right here at the Performing Arts.
Oh, is it? Nice.
Yeah.
So your budget's $3,000, so you're saying that's,
Yeah, that's, we're good.
Have we ever reached out, I mean, how many of those people are town of Canandaigua seniors, would you say?
Most of them are town of Canandaigua seniors.
Okay.
But see, every senior group throughout Monroe County and Ontario County, Ontario allows anybody to join, and ours is allows that.
well, I want a count of other towns, so I can send them an invoice.
That's right.
See, the other towns give a break to their town people. Our town doesn't do that. But we don't charge people for playing cards, and we don't charge them for the bus to Mendon. And we don't charge them to do, we do a couple of things a year at no charge, which makes up for them not to have to pay for every week to come and play cards, so.
Well, your Parks and Rec director.
There you go.
If you didn't know, is an expert in senior programming.
Okay,
You are?
any other,
No, I just wanted to.
Thank you.
Yeah.
no one wants to add?
Of course, Victor, the Parks and Rec department, always has a picnic every month for their seniors.
And three
Where the-
full-time paid staff to run it.
Their paid
and-
staff does the cooking and
So-
does the serving.
So typically though, I think, correct me if I'm wrong, your senior program had a lot to do with some physical activity though, right?
That's
So-
right, yeah, I was with the VA, and we had senior exercise.
Take one more shot at this, are we good?
Yes.
We're good.
You wanna hit it? Oh,
Too late.
Make a motion. We adjourn.
did someone second it?
Yes.
Lost your quota, you
Don't
can't
feel
adjourn.
it, he has thrown it in
So
there,
are you-
but I-
No, he's here.
Fan?
His water bottle is still here, he's here.
I am,
Have you ever been to Green Bay?
I haven't, that's